Yo, it's Andre. I'm back with another video. And in today's video, in today's video, I'm gonna expose the lie of the myth of emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Remember, folks, many words or terms are invented by the world system to complicate life. Life is actually a lot simpler than people know, what people believe. Yeah. A lot of people are brainwashed by a lot of terms that cut. For example, they say NASA says gravity is a thing, right? When in reality, that's just a made-up term to complicate the natural order of things. All that exists is density. That's it. Lighter or heavier. That's all that exists. But they added gravity to complicate that. You see that? That's an example. So anyway, many things are made up to complicate life because this is part of a world system agenda. They do this shit on purpose. So now in this video, I'm going to expose another lie, another term that's made up just to complicate the natural order of things, life, you know. Emotional intelligence. That's right. You heard the saying emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? I'll tell you what it is. It's BS. It's made up just to complicate the natural order of things. For example, emotional can't be intelligent because the emotion part within a man, the X chromosome, and what females are the embodiment of, the emotion itself is chaos. The emotion itself is the opposite of logic. All it is just feeling. There's no intelligence to it. Yep. A man can regulate his emotions, meaning he controls the emotion itself. But the emotion itself is not intelligent. You just feel it. The question is, do you control it? That's all I can say. By nature, see, because men are YX and females are XX, men have a higher mind than a female does. A man has the emotion mind, and he has a mind beyond the emotion, which represents the Y chromosome. Females have just the emotion. They only are the emotion itself incarnate. That's why they're double X. It means emotion. X means emotion. Females are only emotion. They don't have a Y chromosome. That's why they can't think beyond the emotion. So anyway, to put it short, emotion is the opposite of intelligent. It's just chaos itself. Feeling. There's no logic in feeling. You just one of the purposes of emotion is to sense your surroundings, sense the environment, to sense, you can use it as an energy thing to sense things. But it's also, so it's not just to feel. You can use it, when you control it, you'll see the more capabilities the emotion has when it's fully controlled. Anyway, to put it short, the reason why men can regulate our emotions is we have a mind beyond the emotion. Yep. Females are made from a piece of men. Females don't have that, and that's why they can't regulate their emotions. They think with their emotions because they are the emotions. They're controlled by their emotions. That's right. Emotions is not intellect. Emotions is stupidity. It's chaos. But when you control it, you can use it for its other purpose, to sense things. It can fuel magic. Just to let you know. So anyway, to put it short, emotional intelligence is made up because when people say emotional intelligence, they're really saying, you ready? They're saying emotional is equal to intelligence. They're saying emotional also means intelligence. No, it doesn't. Intelligence is different from emotion. Emotion is different from intelligence. In fact, they're opposites of each other. There's no such thing as emotional intelligence. All that exists is that you either control your emotions or not. So, you gotta understand that those are terms made up by the world system and women because they want to manipulate men. They want to lie to the average man. It's all a manipulation tactic. That's all it is. So those terms are made up. For example, why do you think when women talk, they never mean what they say? They will talk, but always be indirect. Because they're all about complicating life. Instead of being direct like men are direct, they want to just talk in a complicated manner. Because it's manipulation. That's why they do that. So I'm just letting you know, emotional intelligence is a lie and just a made up term. It's just made up to be manipulated. Yeah, it's pure manipulation. It was just made up to manipulate men. Because emotion can't be intelligent. Emotion is the opposite of intelligent. Emotion is to feel. Logic, the logic mind beyond the emotion, the source mind, is to know. K-N-O-W, which is beyond the feel. The feel is supposed to be controlled by the know. The emotion is supposed to be controlled by the logic mind. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, there's a reason why men by nature can control our emotions, while women can't. Of course, if a man trains her to recognize her emotions, that's the only way that they can, that's the only way they can have experience self-control. A man has to teach them that, while a man is just born with the ability to control our emotions. Yeah. Men can control their emotions. One of the traits that makes us special, something that women don't have. We can control our emotion. We're not controlled by it. That's why we don't think with emotion. Any man who thinks with their emotion and controls and is controlled by their emotion is unbalanced and is evil. It doesn't suit a man to be controlled by emotion because that's a female trait. But the reason why society tries to raise men to be controlled by their emotion is because they don't want men to be in the right state of mind. It's a manipulation tactic. Real men are not controlled by their emotion. If you want to use the term real men, because in the end of the day, a man's a man regardless. That's all I can say. The only difference, he's either honorable or a disgrace. But yeah, so the term real men is made up too, to be direct. But people like to use that term to flaunt that around, which is also a lie. But if I had to use that real man term of anything, I'll say real men are control their emotion, not controlled by their emotion. See, in order for a man to be perfectly balanced, not only does he not supposed to be controlled by his emotion, he's not supposed to have his emotion be equal to his first mind. It's not even supposed to be equal. It's supposed to be completely controlled by his first mind. Remember, the emotion is also called the ego or the shadow mind. What else is the emotion known as? Oh yeah, chaos, or the necessary evil, or the self-awareness counterpart, or motivation itself, which is why we feel the motivation to do anything, because chaos can be used for good or bad. The reality is, men can regulate their emotion, women can't. That's what it boils down to. That's why, whatever a female feels, that's why they behave that way. Females are led by emotion, because they are emotion embodiment. Females are half of men. They're the embodiment of the half within the man. Because females originally come from males. That's just how it is. So that's why we men have that inner female within us. We have that piece of us. When you look at woman, you're looking at that piece of you incarnate. That's the reality. So cause we already have an ego. We already have a female within us. So why deal with another ego, another female? When a man's in a relationship with a woman, he's basically looking at having two egos he's dealing with. Not just basically his own, and then the female. That's the embodiment of that. That's right. So I'm just letting you know. Whew. Men, understand this, okay? You can't be emotional and intelligent at the same time. That's dumb. That's made up. Intelligent men control their emotion. There's no such thing as emotional intelligence. It's called, you regulate your emotions. Emotions have nothing to do with intelligence itself. It's the opposite of intelligence. Yep. That's right. So just be aware of that, okay? This is one of the reasons why I say in my videos over and over why men must not put women in positions of power, or why we should not give them equal treatment, because they're not built for that. When they're given that stuff, they just become unbalanced. Even when it's not just if you give them more power than yourself, of course they're fully unbalanced. But it's bad enough to give them even equal treatment because they become bad enough. That's the thing. In order for them to be fully controlled, to be fully peaceful, they have to be fully controlled. That's it. In order for them to be fully peaceful and not complicate anything, not even with the smallest thing. Females have to be fully regulated, just like how we men control our second mind within us. It's supposed to be that way with females who are outside of us. We're supposed to control them the same way. We're supposed to fully control them, regulate them. This is just the essence of what females are. They're meant to be controlled by males. This is just nature. This is just a reality. The divine feminine is controlled by the divine masculine. If any female wants to go with that, the divine feminine is under the control of the divine masculine. If that's the case, this applies to all males and females, because the divine masculine and the divine feminine is the original male and female, and even the divine feminine is fully controlled by the divine masculine. So how much does that say for all the incarnations of masculine and feminine? Exactly, it's the same thing, the same principle. That, yeah, it plays out the same way. All realms is just the same. Every realm and all incarnations is based off of the two. The original male, the original female. Like I said in my past videos, the original male is called the dark. The original female is called the shadow. The original male is many terms to describe him. The father in heaven. The original female is called the mother in heaven. And then the first male extension is called the sun in heaven, who's also called the light. And then the first female based off of the original female, chaos. Yep, the mother in heaven is called the daughter in heaven, and she's known as wisdom. Of course, a lot of people think light and wisdom are the same entity, not realizing that light's male, wisdom is female. And light's the older brother of the wisdom, and wisdom's the little sister of the light. Anyway, I mentioned those two, light and wisdom, because they're the first, gender extension of the original. You know, they're the light. Male is the original, dark is the original male. The first male that came into existence that's based off of the original male is lights. Yep, and then same thing with female. The second female that came into existence is wisdom, that's based off of chaos, the original female. And same applies to all realms and all of us, humans and animals and spirits and gods and goddesses, angels, male and female angels, male and female heavenly animals, beasts and all that, unicorns, you know, all the species that exist that's on earth and that's also in heaven. But then there's some species in heaven that's not on earth. You know how it goes. So, and demons, and you know, the male and females of every species, every intellect, every sentient being and non-sentient being and object has, like, they're, you know, basically heavenly bodies, right? The earth is a female, the firmament is a male, the sun is a male, the moon is a female. See, so it's even objects in heavenly bodies as well. Yeah, male and female stars, male, yeah. Just because you can't see the gender of something, it doesn't mean that it's not male or female. You gotta understand, male and female did not start with humans and animals of this realm. It started from before the heavens existed. Everything that exists in all the heavens and earth is based off of the original male and female. That's just how it is. There's two to everything, and two is even based off of those terms as well. And there are even species with their own set of male and female based off of the male and female, the original. For example, birds and pigeons, they're both birds, right? But they're two types of birds. The crows are based off of the universal chaos, and they have their own set of male and female. While the pigeons are based off the universal peace, which is another term for the dark, the universal male. And let me see, and when it comes to the insect kingdom, right? Praying mantis are with their own set of male and female are based off of the female side, while let's see, yeah, you know, while there are insects based off the male side, it goes both ways. There are animals based off the male, there are animals based off the female. They all have their own set of male and females. Just like there are humans where our own set of male and females were based off of the male. The humans who are born evil, which is with their own set of male and female. Pretty much humans who are born detached, you know, and they're just evil by nature. Like, and they have their own set of male and female. They're based off of chaos. Mm-hmm. But the humans that are good, born good, with their own set of male and female, are based off peace. So I'm just saying here, like, not only is male and female based off of the original male and female, the male and female, and the male and females, the original male and female have their own set of species as well, with their own pair of male and females. The difference between the species, you know, when it comes to those who are based off the one side, right, is that, let me see here, the side that's based off of the universal male, you know, the original male, has the male at the top. Yeah, you know, which is a natural order to oral, you know. And then females, when it comes to species based off the female side, which is their own set of male and female, they have the females on the top instead. But if you go all the way back up, you know, to the original male and female, who is above who? That's right, the original male is above the original female. So, yeah. Because you gotta understand, at some point, the original female tried to be equal to the original male, or above the original male, because she was popular in heaven, being the original female, you know. So she was cast to a lower position, which is what the casting of the ego originated from. The creator cast his ego counterpart to a lower position because she wanted to be equal to him, or above him. So, and that's where feminists started originally too. So what we see on Earth is just a manifestation of what happened in heaven originally. Everything that happens on Earth, since Earth is the last realm of existence, everything that happens on Earth it's just a repeat of what happened before up in heaven. There's not one thing that happens on Earth that hasn't happened to heaven. Everything that happens on yeah. So when the feminist light manifested on Earth, it wasn't just chance. It was just because of what happened to heaven. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, the shadow, the original female, also known as chaos or the necessary evil, or the universal, the motivation, the act, or another term for female is action, the ability to do anything. Well, I think when a man looks at a woman, we feel motivated by default because they're the embodiment of our motivation. Another term for our shadow mind. That's why. Oh yeah. Anyway, I keep going all over the place, but I know a lot of y'all already get it. So to put it short, if you go up the hierarchy, to the original too, the original male is above the original female. So that's why when it comes to the natural order, males are always supposed to be above females. That's how it's supposed to be. So yeah, I just have to make that clear. In order for anything to work, males are above females. But of course, if there's a being born based off destruction, like if they're based off the shadow side, where they're naturally evil, or they're based off of the natural unbalance. Because you gotta understand that the combination of what makes everything exist is made from the positive and negative molecule. Positive is another term for male, negative is another term for female. Good and bad, when they were created, they're basically two sides of the same coin, because bad is the mother of the good. Remember, the good is another term for the light, the sun in heaven. Yeah. The son in heaven and the daughter in heaven, the light and wisdom, their parents is the peace and the chaos. Another term for peace is, beyond the good and bad. And chaos is also known as the necessary evil. And necessary evil is the mother of the necessary good, another term for the light, and the necessary imagination, another term for the wisdom. There are many terms that the original family is known as, but I'm just saying. But yeah, the heavens and all the male and female species were born because light created through wisdom as a portal. All females are referred to as portals. All males are referred to as extensions, another term for our genders too. Yeah. But anyway, what was I talking about originally? Oh yeah, emotional intelligence. So to keep it short, emotional is not intelligence. Intelligence is the opposite of emotion. So emotional intelligence is a term made up just to complicate life, existence, to make it seem like that it's okay to think with your emotions, to be controlled by your emotion. Another term for think with your emotion, they're literally saying to actually be controlled by your emotion, which is stupid, unbalanced. Yeah. Females are not direct on what they say, and they don't know what they want, because all females are chaos itself. That's around this realm. So this is why females are born without the sense of direction. They have no inner self-regulation. Any female who's logical, because she was trained by a man, whether it's her dad or any other male, or a friend or a brother or uncle, it doesn't matter. As long as it's a male, she literally was trained. They have to be trained like how animals are trained, just to have something instilled in them. While a man is just born with that part of him. Yep, but females just don't have that part. That's right. So understand something. Females can't regulate their own mind. That's why without a male to give them agency, they're going to become corrupt on their own. Females by nature are soft and feminine, before there's any feminine movement to deceive them. But they still become corrupt on their own. The only thing that American society does to females, and its influence on the world, is all it does is speed up their corruption progress. Yeah, they basically have fuel to the fire. Females are chaos beings. Males are peace beings. This is why we love silence, and peace. This is why we love being alone, while females hate being alone. And they can't comprehend peace or silence. They have to have something happen. They have to listen to music. They have to do things to keep them distracted because they're chaos. The only way they feel complete is by serving the man that owns her. Because every man is different. Some men would choose to have many females that wives, concubines, and they all serve him. Or some men would choose one female, and that one female serve him. It depends on the man. Because man and woman sleeping with multiple is a lie from society. A man is made to have many women. A woman is made to just be owned by one man and share that man with other sisters. If you choose that more than one female, yeah, because that's the reason why they think that, hey, that's not fair, because a lot of females are lied to by society that they're equal to men. So it's under the assumption they're equal to men. That's why they think they can sleep around too, when they're not built for that. That's why when females sleep around, they become more corrupt. more deranged. They can't pair bond because they were created to have sex with one man and share that man with other women. While a man can sleep with countless, and it doesn't affect his ability to pair bond, or it doesn't affect him at all. Why? Because we spread our seed. Women are the receiver, men are the giver. So, yeah, men can sleep with countless, while females can only sleep with one. Because the more she sleeps with, it comes at a price. She becomes more unbalanced. They lose their ability to pair bond. So it just takes yeah. But anyway, to put it short, males are peace, women are chaos. So this is why men likes quiet. Why we like silence. If the only way a man would deal with a female and not be annoyed by the female's presence is that she has to, if a female wants to be a part of a man's life, she has to contribute to his peace of mind. Men already have peace of mind, but she has to not disrespect his peace of mind. Otherwise, there will be no reason for a man to deal with a woman. Realistically, if a woman wants to be part of a man's life, any female in general, it doesn't have to be a sexual relationship. It could be like a father or daughter, or it could be, if a female wants to not annoy a male, if she, no matter what relationship they have, friends or, brother or sister, or I'm saying in general, the only way that a female won't be annoying to a man, to our presence, is that they must not disrupt our peace of mind, which we naturally have. Otherwise, there will be no reason in existence for a man to have anything to do with a female. You gotta understand, females out there, we men are the ones that don't need y'all. We men are complete on our own, because y'all come from us. We have that part of us that y'all taken from. That's right. What is that? I'm gonna explain this so y'all understand better. What is that part of us that y'all have taken from? Okay, remember another term for the chaos within us, or our ego side within us, right? Ego, emotion, chaos, same thing. It's just another term for that. To sum it all up, is called the shadow mind. And you females are the embodiment of that shadow mind within the man. That's right. So the shadow mind is chaos itself, and it's meant to be controlled fully. That's what y'all are. So anyway, the shadow mind is also called motivation or action, chaos, the ability to do anything. So you know how men are YX, right? Now, if a man did not have an X part of him, and he was just Y, right? If that was the thing, you know how a man will live. I'll tell you. You ready? Yeah. See, the man will do nothing. Like, he will exist, but he will do nothing. Like, someone could throw a punch at the man, and he'd be like, no, yeah, no action, no, yeah, no. Basically, you women are the physical embodiment of a man's action, which is another term for y'all. Y'all call it necessary evil, ego, emotion. What else? All the terms y'all known as. Y'all the embodiment of that. That's what y'all are. But the emotion, the ego, the necessary evil, the shadow mind is also called motivation, action, the ability to do anything. So basically, yeah, y'all the embodiment of that. So we men already have that part of us within us. That's why we don't need women to motivate us. This is why men can exist with or without a woman. We can exist alone. We never feel lonely. We are at peace. We live life because we're the extension of peace, the void, the dark. This is why we love silence, peace. While females, because they are based off chaos, that's why they need constant chaos. They need drama. They have to be around things that will give them some kind of feel. Yeah, they can't that's why they can't comprehend peace, because peace is male, chaos is female. So anyway, to put it short, as I was saying earlier, yeah, that's right. In order for a man to not be annoyed at your presence, women out there, girls out there, in order for a man not to be annoyed with your presence, it doesn't matter. It's not just a relationship. It's not just a sexual relationship. It's basically just, in general, like just if you were to be next to a male, in order for a male not to be annoyed by your presence, you must not disrupt his peace of mind. Otherwise, he will find you annoying. That's why there are men who choose to be single. Why there are men who choose not to have a woman, who choose to keep their wealth to themselves, their health to themselves, because men would choose their peace of mind over a woman. That's just the reality. Because you women have been lied to. You guys are not the ultimatum to a man. Y'all been lied to. Y'all just want to believe that because y'all don't want to know y'all don't want to accept the reality that a man can live with or without y'all. So y'all want us to believe we need each other equally. Y'all want us to believe that lie because y'all no, y'all will be screwed if a man is aware of his true, complete nature. So that's why y'all want us to believe a lie. You women are not the ultimatum to a man. A man being a man have nothing to do with woman. You women come from the man, not the opposite. Remember that. The man puts his baby in you. If there's no sperm in you, you can't produce a child. And, in fact, your exact existence is made out of sperm from a man. Exactly. Because why? You females come from men originally. So that's why it's like that. The egg comes from the sperm. Without the sperm, there'll be no egg. That's how it is. The first female was taken out of the original man, and then the man impregnated her ever since. Exactly. See that? And then it's not just an earth thing or Garden and Eve thing. If you go all the way up to before there was even the heavens, the original female, the self-awareness counterpart, which is another term for female in general. Because you female also call it the self-awareness. Understand that. Y'all are the embodiment of the self-awareness of men. So the first female came out of the first male. See? If you go back even before there's spirits, gods, goddesses, the original goddess came out of the original god. You see that? Exactly. Because all females are from all males. That's just how it is. That's the reality. So, y'all use the lie that we come from y'all because y'all need something to use against men. If y'all don't have any kind of leverage over men, y'all just make something up. That's why y'all do that. Yeah. Anyway, back to the point, right? I'm saying all this because this is a spread awareness. That's why I will talk about other things within the fields I'm talking about. When I'm talking about one subject, I'll talk about other things too. Because the more veils I mention the reality, the more people will see it. And it will spread awareness quicker. So, my mission, why I have a YouTube channel, really, is just to spread awareness. That's it. I tried being a video gamer. I tried to be basically I like to play video games for myself. But yeah, I tried to stream, but it doesn't suit me. Because at the end of the day, my main purpose for a YouTube channel is to spread knowledge to boys and men. So they're aware of what they really are. And in turn, it's going to end up helping females. Because with male fully in control and females completely controlled by men, the females will be at their happiest. You females have been lied to by the feminist movement and by the world systems. They don't want you to know your real nature either, because you'll be complete. You'll feel happy. You'll be complete. That's why they tell you that's why they tell you that you're oppressed. That there's a patriarchy. They lie to you about all kinds of things because it's all a tactic by the governments of the world system to lie to y'all because they make more money in a feminist society off of the people by turning the woman against the man. So yeah. But anyway, but a lot of women are lied to, so they're not taught the reality of that puts them at a further disadvantage because a man can live with or without a woman, while a woman cannot live without a man. A man's existence is not dependent on the woman, like how a woman's existence is dependent on the man. Women feel lonely because they don't have that Y chromosome, so they can't feel complete unless they're attached to the male counterpart. While a man has both YX, we represent the complete. Another term for male is completion. Another term for female is half. They alone are a half, while we men are their complete. We men are complete of ourselves, so we can do with or without a woman. A woman have nothing to do with a man being a man. When they say, in this society, when they say, or any society that lies to their people, when they say that man is only man when he has a wife and children, they're lying, because that's just an option. Yeah. That's just one of the traits of a man. A man would be a man fully, regardless if he has a wife or a child or not. A man's a man regardless. But remember, the reason why society comes with all these terms of lies, because they want to manipulate the man. There's no way they can steal resources and wealth from a man unless they use women against him to take from him. But that only works on stupid men who think with their emotion, who's unbalanced. Yeah. But anyway, to put it short, they turn women against man because they want to make more money off of the common people. So that's why they put women in higher positions on purpose, because women are easy to control and manipulate compared to men. So that's why the school systems give women opportunities far more than men, because they're trying to empower women and effeminize men. Reality, men are the ones supposed to be empowered, while women are supposed to be humbled. That's the reality. But this society tries to do the opposite because this society is run by evildoers, So just be aware of that. So this is why females today are all miserable, and many females who claim they're not miserable is miserable, but they lie to themselves. And they will also say that too to put up a front, to lie to the people, If they really didn't care what others thought, why did they make videos, saying, I'm strong and independent, I'm happy. Why do they feel the need to do that shit? Because they can't be alone. They can't comprehend aloneness. They can't feel complete unless they're attached to a male. Yeah, any man in general. It's not just a sexual relationship. They need a male for male acknowledgement, like to simply look at their existence with our eyes, or just our acknowledgement in general. If they can't have that, they at least want to try to be near our presence. That's why I say to the men out there, don't give female free attention for free. They're not worthy of it. You gotta understand, you were taught wrong. They're not owed your attention just because they're there and they're pretty. Learn to control your lust, your urge. Like, because men are born with self-control too, but society don't want men to know that either. Because they want us to, they want to raise us and to think like dogs, so that way we get ourselves in trouble more, and thus they can take more money from us. I'm letting you know the reality of how the world system is assigned. The world system is one big pyramid scheme, and they lie to the masses. Yeah, they want to, yeah. So anyway, women are used by the governments of the world to steal wealth and resources from men. So that's only when the men falls for the trap, because the women of the world systems are the trap of the world system. Yeah, they're basically the minions of the system when you think about it. Women are raised to be for the governments and the world system first. Yeah. You gotta understand that, or only, I should say, because the woman should only be for the man that owns her, but they're raised for their world system, the government, to be owned by them. So you gotta understand, everything that these females will do in this modern time is based off the governments of the world. They're here to only suck you dry. And many females say that they're not that way. Well, if you weren't that way, why do you let your fellow women get away with this stuff? Why don't you try to stand up to them? And no, this was before men started rejecting women en masse. Because before, when it was only men suffering, no woman said anything because it didn't affect them yet. Now it's women suffering, and now it's becoming common knowledge for men to become fully aware of female nature. So now it's starting to become rare for a man wanting to get with a female, even if she's a beautiful young woman. It doesn't matter whether she's young or old. Men it's becoming common knowledge to be aware of female nature. So therefore, more men are rejecting women at a faster rate, and simps are disappearing. Even if there are simps around, simps will disappear as fast as wildfire spreads. So it'll be as if simps never existed. That day is coming. Because you gotta understand, not only are men becoming more aware, because they're actually paying attention to the surroundings and what they see, but then the older men that binge you shit will warn the younger men. So that way, there will come a day where a man will not be tricked even one time by a relationship with a woman. They will never go to the court system, the divorce, the paperwork, they won't have the Wolfstone not even once. They will not be married even once and tricked even once. Yeah. They will not fall for the trap even one time. It's gonna reach a point where women will run out of men to manipulate. This is what's gonna come pretty soon in the future, and I'm pretty much telling y'all about it. So yeah. But the only way this is a warning to you females too. In order for a man not to find y'all annoying, you must not disrupt his peace of mind. That's what it boils down to. You must do what he says. You must stop seeing him as a predator or everything he's saying as corrupt or evil, or he just wants to manipulate. No, you're misunderstanding, keeping lied to by the world system. Men are made to command. Men are the embodiment of masculine. Women are the embodiment of feminine. Women are supposed to serve men. That's how it's supposed to be. A man is supposed to tell a woman what to do. That's what y'all put here for. Y'all are chaos. Y'all are created. Y'all are the embodiment of chaos. Chaos have no agency of her own. She's meant to be fully controlled by the peace, by the source. The mother in heaven is fully controlled by the father in heaven. So it's supposed to be the same thing with y'all towards the human counterpart, the male human counterpart. You females are supposed to be controlled by men fully, 100%, unadulterated. It's not a bad thing. It's just the natural order. That's the reality. If you guys want to be rebellious to a man, if because y'all been lied to by society, so y'all, cause the only way y'all feel powerful is at the expense of men. Why is it unbalanced? Why is it unnatural? Because y'all been lied to by the system. In order for y'all to be complete, your calling is to serve the man that owns you. And no, it's not a bad thing. It's not, you see us property. Seeing y'all as property is not a bad thing either. Y'all are originally supposed to be that way. Y'all are our property. That's not bad. Y'all were taught that was bad. Y'all were created for the man. Y'all were created to serve the man. That's what helpmate means. A man can have many helpmates, many females for himself. Females are created to serve men. but y'all were taught that was a bad thing from birth. But y'all were lied to by media, by the churches, by the world system. You gotta understand, they all work for the governments of the world. They want to make females unbalanced. They want to make men unbalanced too. That's why the reason why males are bashed so hard in society, right? Because it's just an attempt to effeminize men. They're trying to. So when they say humble men, that's why they attack men from birth. Growing up, to make them feel, yeah, they're trying to make a man think feminine while they're trying to make a woman think masculine. But then again, you women that are so-called masculine, and they're lied to expose that women cannot be masculine. They can only fake it. Because a woman has to be a man in order to be masculine, truly. It's just like evil. Those who are born evil do not understand they cannot comprehend what it means to be good. Because they're born without that part of them. So they're just naturally evil. So they don't know what it means to be good. They can only imitate it. When they see someone good, they can only copy their behavior to blend in with good. So they can destroy their next victim, and then jump to the next victim. They basically have to. They can't comprehend good themselves. They can only imitate it. Same thing with women. Women are not masculine. So guys who say women are too masculine, dude, that's not masculinity. That's fake masculinity. You gotta understand that. Because masculine men are not evil. Like, yeah, we're all about balance, perfect, peace. Notice that when females are being masculine, they're just uncontrolled evil. That's all it is. Because they weren't made to be masculine. They were made to be feminine. Like I said, the truth about y'all selves, you females, right, is y'all are a controlled substance. Y'all are supposed to be controlled by the male. Otherwise, there's no reason for a male to have anything to do with y'all. That's the thing. Realistically, this is universal. This is from the Creator himself. Like, this is what he says to all the... Because everything I say out of my mouth is from the Creator, the source, the dark, the one that started all reality. So these are his words, and I, as an incarnation, is just repeating them on this realm. So I'm going to say it. A man does not need a woman to exist or to live. We don't feel lonely because we're not women. Women feel lonely, men don't. Of course, society tries to teach people the lie that men and women are equal and have the same nature. Nope, that's a lie. Men and women have opposite nature. Think about magnets. Opposites attract, right? Now, a man can exist with or without a woman, while a woman is the opposite. They cannot exist without men. They don't have the option to exist without a man. So, any woman who claims that is lying. They're trying to they're trying to save face, or, they're trying to... You understand, a lot of older women will lie to the younger women because they're jealous that they're used up and that the younger woman will have a chance with men. So they're trying to have the younger woman follow the same path as them. So the older women are not trying to help you. They're trying to have you follow the same path as them. To become, left alone, lonely, without a man taking them seriously. And, what I'm trying to say. They'll end up without a man wanting to get with them. So they're saying, if I can't have a man, then neither can the next generation woman. So that's why they tell you all this stuff, because they're trying to manipulate you to follow their path, because they don't want y'all to be happy. They want you to die miserable like them. But anyway, to put it short, the Creator says this, that when it comes to this is the truth from the Creator. A man should have nothing to do with a woman if she's not fully controlled. If she's not controlled by even a tiny bit, then have nothing to do with her. She must be completely feminine, soft-spoken, completely controlled by the male in order to be worthy of a male. That's just how it is. So, because you understand, it's not just the man that you're not worthy of. The Creator himself will be disappointed in you, females, because men are the physical embodiment of the Creator. So by default, when you disrespect males in general, you're doing that to God. I'm gonna use the term y'all are used to, God. That's right. You're doing it to the Creator, God. I use the term God because I know y'all are used to calling the source that, so I'm gonna just use that term. But anyway, to put it short, a female to a man is just an option. I'm letting you women know so you understand how men think, how we really are, not by the lies that your fellow women tell you, and by men who are brainwashed by the system, or who are sold out to the system to help spread the lies. That's right. Remember, every man who's evil thinks with their emotion. Remember that. Any man who's good is in his right state of mind. He thinks with his Y mind over his X mind, so he's perfectly balanced. So, like I said, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So anyway, this is the reality. So understand this, men, you guys are options. A man does not feel alone. Only women feel alone, because a man's a complete whole of himself. He's a completion himself. Women are half of us. I'm trying to get y'all to understand man's real nature, because no one else is going to tell you this. Like, most people lie to y'all, And then the men who try to teach are deceive themselves, or they purposely know the truth, but they're working for the government, so they get paid to continue the agenda. Because in order to become in the higher positions in this world system, on average, yeah, not saying it's impossible to become a high position on your own. In order to become a high position in America on average, you have to become more evil. You have to accept more of the lie. That's it. That's the only way to get ahead in the society. So that's how they set it up, as a pyramid scheme, But anyway, the point I'm trying to get you women to understand this too, that a man, to y'all, a man's option. He don't need y'all to exist. He can be happy on his own. That's why men these days are not coming up to women, and why we're choosing to be single more than ever. Because women were always an option. That's why y'all. This is what you women need to understand. A man does not get lonely. Loneliness is a woman thing. Remember that. Y'all been lied to, And the only way a man will be lonely is that he doesn't know his complete self. So he's been lied to about himself, about reality, about things in general. So men who are lied to, who are deceived in some way, would just naturally think like a woman. They would think with their emotion counterpart, or they would have their emotion counterpart be equal to their logic mind, instead of keeping their emotion fully controlled by their logic. You gotta understand that. So anyway, to put it short, so the men who feel lonely are just brainwashed. That's how it is. And then the men who are born evil are just naturally detached from their Y chromosome, so they naturally think like women. Because there are men who are born defective. Like, when I say defective, it means they're not born fully attached to the parts that makes them what they are. So that's why there are men who are born evil. Women are the embodiment of the evil. So remember, evil. People don't know what evil is. Evil is another term for chaos. Evil. Christians and religions lie a lot. It's not that evil should have never existed. Evil was meant to exist. People just don't know what evil is. Evil is chaos. Yeah, the purpose of evil is to be controlled by the peace, the good. Yes, that's another term for peace. Yeah. The light, the sun. Yeah, he's a firstborn male of the dark, the source. So anyway, the source is beyond good and bad, while his son is called the good, and his first wife, chaos, is called the necessary evil, while the son is called the necessary good. And the wisdom is called the necessary shape and form. Oh yeah, wisdom, the daughter in heaven. Her true identity is that she's the goddess of we call it the shaper of reality, the distinction that causes the distinction. Shape and form, in general, of everything that exists, both visible and invisible, came into being because light created your wisdom as a portal. And the water that we drink and bathe in, water came into existence because of the light creating through shadow. Yeah. And then you can remember shadow's female, light's male. This time the light got created through the shadow. Then came water. That's why water doesn't have a true shape. They don't have because wisdom was not used as the ingredient, to create through. But the reason why the firmament and earth that came next after water has a shape and a form, because the water is a male entity and the water created through wisdom. And that's why the firmament and earth exists. Then the creator himself got with the earth. And that's why we humans and animals exist, And then, what I'm trying to say. Because a lot of times, everything that exists is male creating through female. It's male creating through female. Yes, that's right. It's not just a physical thing. This is you understand, even the objects, yes. Everything that exists is male and female energy, but many people don't realize that. Everything, yeah. It's like, it's not just a biological, it's not just having a penis or vagina. They're literally the essence of male and female. So we're literally, we're just the physical of that. You know what I'm saying? The mother of us humans and animals and spirits of this world is called Earth, and then our father is the creator himself. Yep, just like we're basically a second family, because his first family is the shadow, the light, and the wisdom. So he fathered us directly. The heavenly beings in the heavens itself was born because of the union of light creating through wisdom. So they were born indirectly. And so was water that we drink. Water was born indirectly because light created through shadow to create water. And then water created through wisdom to create the firmament and earth. So the firmament and earth was created indirectly too. But the creator created through the earth to create humans and animals and spirits of this world. So we were created directly, just like the original family, because the Father in heaven fathered us directly, because the Father got with the earth, and the earth is called the second wife. Oh yeah. So I'm just letting you know the reality, guys. I want people to understand the reality of everything. I'm here to expose all the lies. I'm going to expose every secret of the government, of the media, of what they try to promote to the masses, because I'm here to expose all the lie and actually mention the reality of everything. So and like I said, I understand that not everybody is meant to hear this. So only a few are gonna become aware, while most will stay brainwashed. That's right. So I understand that what I'm saying is not popular, but I'm here to spread awareness. That's why I made this YouTube channel. So anyway, I keep getting off topic. I'm explaining different things. Yeah, I'm pretty much every time I explain something, I was going into detail about that, but I gotta stay on topic. Let's see. Oh yeah. So anyway, I'm letting women know this is a warning. There will come a day where no man will want you, even if you're young and beautiful. It won't just be an old lady thing. Because female nature, the knowledge of female nature among males will become so common that males won't see any reason to have anything to do with y'all. This is just the truth. So that's why y'all have to get back to what y'all meant to be. Otherwise, there will come a day where it's too late. Just remember, the men in the government who are evil will betray y'all one day. If you keep, relying on them. The powers that be. Remember, they all work for Satan, who's under Lucifer. And Lucifer is also another term for the Mother in Heaven, shadow. Another term for Mother in Heaven is what we know as Lucifer. That's why she's called a light and wisdom bearer, because she was impregnated by the dark to create the light and the wisdom. Yeah, the heavenly family. Yep. So Lucifer's real identity, she's the goddess of all goddesses, but one of her lies is she convinced the world that she's a he. So I'm just letting you know. But anyway, to put it short, let me see here. Oh yeah, so anyway, yeah, that's a warning to all the females that see this video. If you guys don't change, there will come a time where, and it's fast approaching too. It's gonna happen just around the corner. Y'all think y'all got 30 years or even 20 years. Heck, it's not even gonna be 10 or 5 years. It's like it's becoming. Men are waking up so fast to where y'all will run out of men to trick or manipulate. So I'm letting you know. So y'all either be fully controlled by the man, or have no man at all. For you to be attached to. So this is just a warning. So yeah, and to the men out there, the boys out there who will turn into men as well, just be aware of what you are, okay? Because it's the only way for you not to be manipulated, not even one time. So, So yeah, that's why I wanted to stay in this video. The reality of emotion and logic, how they're opposites. There's no, because in order to say emotional intelligence, the emotion will have to be intelligent. But emotion is the opposite of intelligent. It's just chaos by itself. So there's no emotional intelligence. It's just you either control your emotion or not. That's it. So, of course, women are not aware of this. You gotta understand, women. Like y'all pride yourself in the lie that y'all can control your emotions more than men. That's a lie by society. Y'all are controlled by your emotions, but y'all are just not aware enough to be aware of it. That's it. Anyway, y'all say, I don't like the way he said that. I don't see. That's what I'm saying. That's the example of being controlled by your emotion. Y'all are not logical. Y'all are just emotion itself. That's why y'all can't be logical unless that's instilled in you by a dad or a brother, or it doesn't matter. All I can say is this: emotion is not intelligence. It's just chaos by itself. And emotion by itself, you can also say, is stupid. That's right. Because the reason why y'all want us to think emotional intelligence is a thing, because y'all want to manipulate men. That's why. So y'all are trying to complicate things by, just lying, adding lie onto lie onto lie. Y'all work together perfectly with the world system that's trying to lie to the masses. So that lies to both male and female, to not know their true essence and what they are. So that's what I wanted to say in this video. Because y'all pride yourself in feeling more, completely unaware that men feel more than y'all. We just control our emotion fully. We feel the same, but we control it. And y'all believe the lie that y'all control yourselves more than men. No, y'all don't. Men control themselves. This is why the world system tries their very best to raise men and women to believe a lie. They don't want them to know the difference between good and bad. They don't want them to, They're trying to make men, So, cause a lot of men that y'all dated, they were conditioned on purpose to think with their emotion, to be controlled by their sexual. Cause you understand, men are born with self-control too when it comes to sex. Yes, it's true that men are born with a higher sex drive. But it doesn't mean we're controlled by it. We're just stronger and smarter and superior to women. This is why even though our sex drive is higher, we can still control it fully. While if a woman experiences a man's sex drive even once, she will want to be fucked constantly, saying, "This is too much. How do men handle this?" Because you're not a man, you're a woman. A man have a higher sex drive, but he can still control it as easily as a woman who has a lesser sex drive. So I'm just letting you know. Because women on average have a lower sex drive, while men but they control that, right? But men on average have a higher sex drive, and we can control it the same. Men are just raised not to control their sex drive, so that way there's more of a chance of them getting into trouble with the world system in some way. That's why they want to condition men to think like dogs and not have self-control from the beginning. Because men have self-control, but they want you men to believe the lie that I see a woman, I can't help but want to fuck her. Yeah, look at the ass. How could I not look at her? How could I see? It's not, the problem is not lusting is natural. It's not a sin. Like the churches lie to the masses that it's natural. The problem isn't the fact that you're lusting after her and being like, oh, she's hot. The fact is you're controlled by that urge. That's the problem. Men, it's not wrong to understand this, males out there. It's not wrong to lust after women. That's natural. It's only a problem when you're controlled by it. Men are born with self-control as well, but society tries to raise men in general not to use that self-control, and thus they never use it, and thus lusting after a woman ends up becoming a control thing to them. It controls them, and thus women take advantage of this and use it against men, and thus they're fulfilling the role that the world system raised them to fulfill, to be a trap for men. And then men, on their hand, now I understand there's an exception to the rule, so yeah, normally it's impossible for a woman to exist inside of an evil world system, because on average there could be one good man among thousands, but there would never be a good woman among thousands. It's impossible for a woman. In this evil society, females are just going to fulfill the role of how they're conditioned by the world system to be used as a trap against someone or something. But the only way for a woman to escape this is two reasons. The dad have to raise her and not allow her to be influenced by the world system lies, and warn her about college and all that, and tell them not to be brainwashed. Or number two, let me see. Okay, what's number two? Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Yeah, number two. Let me see here. I mentioned the first one, right? In order for a woman to come outside of this unscathed, to not be, because normally it's impossible for women are emotion itself, so women become their environments. They're half a self, so they literally are influenced by their environment so easily, because they don't have a complete self like a man does. A man has his own inner environment. This is why we don't give a fuck what people think. This is why this is our true nature. Why we can't be influenced by what people say or do. We just do what we do. We're proud of ourselves. We're dominant. We're masculine. We're strong. We're uplifted. We can do what we do. We don't generally care what others say about us. That's why society tries to raise us to care, because they're trying to get us to be unbalanced. Yeah. Oh yeah. But anyway, the point is, there's a reason why females care what their groups are, what males think, and why men don't care what others think. Not only do we not care what women think, we don't care what men think, other men think. Yeah, we care about what we say about ourselves. That's right. But of course, society don't want men to know that, so they have to raise us to be brainwashed. That's why they do that shit. Oh yeah. So I'm saying it, man. So anyway, this is why. By nature, this is why by nature men are individualists, while females are followers. Females are social. Men are individualists. The term "every man's island" is true. Yeah. Oh yeah. The term, when they say "no man's island," that's a lie. Every man is an island. The women are the ocean, because women become their environment. That's the thing. Because they're the ego embodiment, they can't help but become their surroundings. So where influence them, wherever they see around, wherever they will just become that. While a man have an inner surrounding, so we can't be affected by the outer surroundings. Yeah, cause we have a full self, a full individual self. So another lie to expose is that men and women are not equal. Men and women do not have the same nature. No, it doesn't depend on the individual. No. Men and women have opposite natures. It's the truth. That's the reality. It's biology. It's spiritual. Males and women are it's not based off individuality. Like, all females become their environment. All males have their inner environment. That's just how it is. Males are logical. Females are emotional. Males are peace. Females are chaos. Males are beyond good and evil. Females are the necessary evil. Males are, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah. So, understand this, males out there, of what you are, okay? Because it's the only way for you not to be manipulated, not even by once, you know, not even by even a chance. I want males to be fully in control like they're supposed to, because by being fully in control, then females will have no choice but to be in control. Because you remember, females can't make men do anything. The only reason why there was a feminist movement is because the men gave them that power. The men of the government of that time, females can't make men do anything. You gotta understand that. What the history that females are told in schools, college, and all that is just a bunch of lies to give them an excuse to say what they say. So that's why men do not take women seriously. We're not supposed to. Oh yeah, and this is why we're not supposed to give our male attention to them for free. You know, we're not supposed to like, yeah. That's why they want to create a society to where we give it to. They raise us to want to give it to them by default. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say to the men and boys out there, don't fall for that lie. Just know they're not entitled to your attention, your acknowledgement. Just be aware of that. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna close up with this. Remember this, woman out there. This is to y'all, women and girls. There is no reason for a man to give y'all any acknowledgement or have anything to do with y'all unless y'all are fully controlled. This is just reality, because despite what society says, you females are controlled beings. Y'all are chaos. If it's not males controlling you, then it's the males of the governments controlling y'all. The male spirits that are controlling y'all. Yeah, if it's not, yeah. Y'all are controlled regardless by a male. Doesn't matter. So I'm just letting you know. The reason why you're attracted to bad boys is because bad boys are controlled by their emotion, that evil counterpart within them. And y'all are attracted to that because that's what y'all the embodiment of. That's why y'all are attracted to evil men. So, yeah. In order to not be, led astray, y'all have to be controlled by men. Like, most likely it's your dad that starts off that way. Or your dad's supposed to, so that way it'll be easier for y'all not to be deceived when you get older. Because y'all had a dad that, conditioned that into you. For example, a lot of you women have been lied to, so y'all always want to lie to yourself that it's the men's fault, right? That men never stay with their children. Who started the we call it the broken homes of males not being with their children? Women did. Why? Okay, this is where it originated from. I'm gonna say it. So remember, I told you that every man who's evil thinks with his emotions, right? And they work with the evil beings of the universe. So I'm just let you know. This is how it started, of men leaving their women. You ready? You ready? Okay. So this is way back when the the white man, they called them, right? But really Caucasian man, they like to call themselves the color white. So remember. So that's why I'm gonna just use the term white, to make it easier for people. They're used to hearing him as that. So the white man came to the black man, right? And said that if you leave your husband, kick him out the house, then the government will replace your husband instead, and you'll have all this authority and power. And that's where broken homes came from, because the woman betrayed the man just to have an easier life in this society. And yep, so it's pretty funny. Women should not even say shit about men when they started this shit, Oh yeah. Anyway, so the white man came to the black man and. The black woman I meant, and offered that, and that's where betraying of the black man came, and then males raised by single mothers would definitely grow up unbalanced. So of course they'll definitely think with their emotions. See what I'm saying? So yeah, because on average, a man is born with logic. A man can actually would just be good on their own, but most men would need a dad's influence. Because every man is a chosen one, Because because a man is to be an example of a man who controls their emotion. But by kicking him out the house, then the man would just have mama all the time, and then he'll become emotional and controlled by, So he'll be unbalanced growing up, and then it will lead to more broken families over and over and over and over. It's a chain reaction. So the Caucasian man knows this because they study nature in their secret labs and all of that. And they know how to make things unbalanced. So this is why, so that's why, so that's where broken homes came from. Why men leave their, That's the origin of all of it. Why it got so worse and all that. It's because of that moment right there. Then eventually, it didn't just happen in the black community. Then other nations of men started following. Other nations of women started following that bad example. And because originally this was a tactic to destroy the black man, the black family, the black race. This was just a strategy used against a black man. But then, like always, wherever strategy they use against our people, they will eventually affect all the other nations. Because what happens to black would just happen to the other nations in general. because despite what they say, we're the majority, but they want us to think that we're the minority. Can you understand? A minority is in a higher position of the world system, controlling the governments of the world. There's not a lot of them. There's only a few of them. So that's why one of the lies they say is that there's more white men than black men. No, there's more blacks than whites. That's just the truth. We're the majority. We're the original man. So they only have people brainwashed thinking whites are majority. So, but they're really a minority. So anyway, because black men are the most dominant top of the world, this is why whatever happens to black men will happen to other nations of men too. So because our black women betrayed us first, then other women started doing it too over time. The feminist ideology manifested more and spread to all, so they started doing that to all their men, and then the woman would take the men's resources in divorce courts or in different ways or in compensation. It could be other ways too, and it will benefit the government and the woman simultaneously. So though they started this as a strategy against the black family, it spread to all nations eventually. So that's what. So now all men have to suffer their women, being used by the government to steal from them. So yeah, it's all. You gotta understand, all this stuff is done on purpose. It's a tactic against the common man. So just letting you men out there know what's really going on. So anyway, yeah. So females betrayed the man, and that's why all this happened. Yeah. So females are in no position to say anything about men in general. Well, it's not just that. The fact is they're created to serve men, so they're not supposed to say shit about men in general. But even if they think they have that right, they shouldn't say shit about men when they're the ones that did all this. They started all this. Because see, without the man to be an example to a son, then he would grow up emotional, and then he will get over a woman. Of course, women are attracted to bad boys. Cause like I said, women by nature, there's a reason why guys were chosen for them, because females can't choose on their own. Every time they choose, they get with an evil man, because they're naturally attracted to that. They're drawn to that. Whether they realize it or not, they're not going to admit that most likely. But that's the reason, because the evil side of us, also called our emotion, is the same energy as the female. Females are the embodiment of that. So that's why they love it when we give them our emotion. Like, they can't truly feel intimate with us unless it's not just us having sex with them. We have to be emotional with them. Exactly. Because they're reacting to the emotion side of us, which females are actually the physical embodiment of. So yeah, that's why it's like that. So yeah. So anyway, back to what I was saying. That's where all that originated from. Females cause a lot of chaos and mess, because they're useful idiots of the government. So, and then of course, because they have no logic, they'll keep blaming the man because it's easier. They say it's the man's fault. It's the man's fault. It has nothing to do whether a man's good or bad. They'll just blame the man regardless, because females are emotional. They're chaos beings. They're not logical. That's why they can't reflect on average and take responsibility. The only way they can reflect and take responsibility is they have to be forced to. Females only understand power. Why? Because they were created to be controlled. I keep telling you guys that. That's why they're like that. That's why they have to be regulated. Otherwise, they'll self-delete and take others with them. If they can't make men do anything unless the man is a simp and is conditioned that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he has to be controlled. He has to be raised to not know himself in order to be controlled by a female. Because you gotta understand, a woman manipulation means nothing to a man who's in the right state of mind. Woman can't make men do anything. Her manipulation tactics only work on stupid men who think with their emotion. It doesn't work on men in the right state of mind. A man in his right state of mind, there's no such thing as evil man. The only way for a man to be evil is to be controlled by his second mind within himself, his ego, his emotion, his shadow mind. A man's supposed to, in order for a man to be in his right state of mind, he's supposed to think with his dark mind and down. Yeah, the dark mind, also called KNOW. The mind beyond the emotion. So you know what I'm saying. So, yeah. So, I just have to spread this awareness, man, because too many lies are told to people, man. It's just not right. So yeah. So I'm just letting people know. So remember, because now throughout the history, the course of ever since that betrayal happened, of course, every human is responsible for their own action, male or female. That's just how it is. So. The males that got in trouble after without blame, but you can't deny what started it all. Exactly. And females by nature will pick the bad men anyway, because bad men are prone to their emotion, which is what attracts a female, because females are that very embodiment. So yeah. But females don't realize they'll get that same emotion connection by a man who's in this right state of mind if they only respect his peace of mind and not try to corrupt them or not try to manipulate or not try to, yeah, gaslight him or try, yeah. You will get that same emotion connection if you only treat that man perfectly. Serve him, cook, clean, be considerate, be kind, be soft, be gentle, be respectful, because the only way a man will deal with a woman is you have to fully respect him, otherwise he's going to walk off. That's just how it is, because we're in the embodiment of the Creator, we cannot have anything to do with anybody unless they show us proper respect. That's just how it's supposed to be. Because this is a message from the Creator, so I'm going to state it in my human words. A man that loves himself will not tolerate disrespect. So therefore, men out there in existence, listen up. You are not supposed to tolerate anyone that doesn't show you equal respect. I mean, equal respect is among men. Let me correct something. Equal respect is among fellow men, not women. Women were not designed to have respect. Because women don't know. Remember, you people don't know what the word respect really is. Respect have nothing to do with the female energy, the essence. Females are supposed to be loved, not respected. Men are supposed to be respected. Respect belongs with men, male. Love belongs with female. Understand that. So so I had to correct that before I continue what I was talking about. So understand this, people. Males. Oh yeah. So anyway, understand this, people. Respect is a male trait. It's meant for men, not women. Love is a female trait. It's meant for women. So, because a lot of times men will confuse love and respect, just like women will confuse love and respect. So, but respect is for men. Do not need love of others because we men are the embodiment of love. Love represents it's another term for masculinity, the dark. Oh yeah. So, because love is also, what we men are called to. People don't know what the love energy really is. So I'm just keeping it real. But yeah, love is basically, so when a female is not loving a man when she looks up to a man, it's like she loves him, want to do anything for him. That's not love in the same way a man loves. You gotta understand that. That's called respect. Females, people confuse respect and love all the time, so they don't know what those really are. So when the female admires a man and she approaches a man, wants to get with him no matter what, serves him, cleans for him, cooks him, treats him like a king, and she shares that man with other women. They're part of his roster. Because the man will choose that more than one woman, or he will choose that one, right? It depends on the individual man, whatever that man chooses. But anyway, the reason all those females are servitude to him and just admires him and just like, yeah, and all that, and they'll do anything for him. They serve, they're the perfect female because that's called respect. But that's confused with love. You know what I'm saying? So I would say it this way to make it easier to explain. Male love and female love are always confused. Like people confuse them. Like because male love is not the same as female love. Because male love is just that, love. Female love is respect. That's what it is. That's the thing. So they can only show their love that only can show is respect. A male's love that he can only show towards a female is love. While female, and like I said, but when we deal with other men, it's the part of us that's female that's supposed to show it towards the other man. Basically, by nature, there's a reason why nature is like this. By nature, a man cannot get along with another man unless they show each other equal respect. Basically, their inner female within that man must respect the inner female within you. Basically, so to put it short, how should I explain this to understand? How should I explain this to understand? To make it easier for them to understand. This knowledge is coming from the Creator, so I'm just saying it in human words. So I'm trying to put it into easier, words so it's easier to understand. So basically, let me see here. Because men are both masculine and feminine because feminine come out of men. So the females come from men. So that's why. So we have our own feminine. We don't just look at females or the embodiment of that. We have our own. That's why. Yeah. So anyway, let's see here. When we respect other men, because we're controlling our emotion side, our emotion within us is respecting the other man's existence. And likewise, the emotion inside the other man is respecting our existence. Understand? Does that make sense? Because like I said, females are the embodiment of that, so their emotion in its purest physical form. And that's why their love is only respect. That's all it is. So, but yeah, while a man, we can show love and respect because the respect that we show comes from the feminine side of us. And the love that we show comes from the masculine side of us. So, you know what I'm trying to say. So that's why, it's shown that way. So when it comes to other men, we cannot love them the way we love a woman. We can only respect them. Mm-hmm. Cause you gotta understand the love we show to a woman is the natural order, because that love is just it didn't at least appear sex and intimate and all that. But we can only do that with women. When it comes to fellow men, we show love to them by our feminine side, which is respect, which is showing respect. So we can do both because females come from men. Men have Y and X. Females are just XX. That's why they can't love like men can. Remember, their love is confused with our love, which is the love that comes from the Y chromosome, which is yeah. But that's actually only from men. Females' love is actually respect, and we also have that respect energy within us too. But that comes from our feminine side, respecting another man. So, but to put it short, by nature, it's impossible for a man to get along with another man unless they show equal respect. If a man respects that man, then yeah, he's showing respect, love for his human existence. He's not trying to say I'm better than you or I'm trying to do it. Yeah. So, but if now the man will respect him, but if the other does he will get along with that man, right? If they show equal respect, but if one of the men is not showing the other man that equal respect, then according to the Creator, what that man's supposed to do is walk away and not have anything to do with that man. Like just forget, just move on. Don't have anything to do with him because this is coming from the Creator. Okay, people, I'm gonna say it in human words. Men are not supposed to tolerate disrespect. Men are not supposed to tolerate him for a second. I know a lot of males are raised to just tolerate that shit, but you're not supposed to do that. Stop being a fool. Wake up already. Know your worth. Know your value. Males are not supposed to tolerate disrespect, no matter who it's from. So if anyone disrespects you, walk away. Just remember that. You're not supposed to, yeah, and now, what you want to do is up to you as an individual, but if you're not going to walk away, at least warn the other man, saying that, hey, listen, man, I'm showing you equal respect. If you're not going to show me equal respect, I'm going to walk off. That's it. Yeah. So if you choose to give him another chance, you have to discipline him, let him know. When I say discipline, I mean, it's not always fighting. It's just words as well. You have to basically, discipline means that you have to let him know, hey, listen, man, when we first met, I showed you man to man respect. So you must show me that equal respect. Otherwise, there'd be no reason for us to be, friends, male best friends. Yeah. See, now that's how you're supposed to do it when it comes to other men. So that's why I say that it's actually impossible, because every man in existence, every males in general, not just humans, every males in existence is an extension of the original male, which is the Creator of all things. So males are the extension of the Creator. So that's why we have the same nature as the Creator. And the Creator tells us to display that nature perfectly, because if we don't do that, if we don't respect ourselves or we tolerate disrespect from others, then the Creator can't be his complete self in our extension, our incarnation. Because in order for us to be completely in sync with the Creator, the male, the masculinity, because like I said, in reality, there's only two sides, masculine and feminine. Everything that exists is just the two sides, masculine and feminine. Masculine called to complete and feminine called to half. So yeah. So anyway, to put it short, everything in existence is based off of the two sides. So there's only one self, complete self, and there's only one half self. There's the male and the female. That's it. There's the complete self and half self. The peace and the chaos. That's all. And everything that exists in existence. The dual mentality of existence is based off of peace or chaos. So I'm just letting you know. So anyway, this is coming from the Creator. You're not supposed to tolerate that. So any man who tolerates that, you're displaying self-hatred. Yeah. That's why a man cannot live or exist. Life will be held to a man if he doesn't respect himself. It's not just tolerate disrespect from others. You gotta respect yourself too. You gotta, in order to respect yourself, your feminine side must be fully controlled by your masculine side within yourself. That's the only way for you. Yeah, so basically, you perfectly balanced, you're showing self-respect. That it's just connected. That's all it is. Yeah. Now, when it comes to then when you're self-respect, just like you don't tolerate, you don't allow your chaos side to control you. Same thing with other men. You don't allow their chaos side within them to control you either, and thus you have nothing to do with those other men. If they want to be disrespectful to you, just walk away. Now, if you think you can still save them, like enlighten them, if you choose to, or if you see that it's meant to be, and you choose to want to do that, then Yeah, by all means, like warn him. Say, hey, listen, man, I did. And if he doesn't accept that or get that, then that's when you walk away. This is coming from the creator. I'm trying to let every human man be aware of this. The creator is literally saying this from his own mouth that I'm putting into human words. You ready, guys? Do not tolerate disrespect from other men. Understand? Do not especially women. Women were literally created to be servants of men. So it's just completely unnatural for them to be disrespectful to men. Now, it's true that females can't become corrupt on their own, but all society does is add fuel to the fire and have them become corrupt faster. I'm just letting you know. So, you gotta understand, yeah. The same way that chaos completely respects peace, same thing that women have to be towards men, fully controlled, respectful to the man. And if the woman does not respect the man fully, then what does that tell you? There is no reason. This comes from the creator. There's no reason for you to deal with that or put up with that. You're supposed to leave them there to fend for themselves. Yeah, one of the lies to expose is that society tells us that women and children or other men are old, are male attention, are old, are helping them by default. But that couldn't be further from the truth. They lied to you when they told you that. This has come from the creator. No one is entitled to your help, to your strength, to your attention. Understand that. What is good? What is bad? Do they tell you the real definition of all that? Exactly, they don't. In order to be free, in order to be, perfect, in order to be considered universally good as a man, you must live life not being sorry. You must be worry-free. You must not worry. You must get out of the deceptions they try to condition you to grow up as. You must not be sorry by default. You must be masculine. You must be proud of who you are. You have, in order to be completely in tune with your true self, who's the creator of everything. Because there's only one self, to be blunt, But you're that extension of that self. So that's why I explained in my last video that men don't have masters above us, because if we did, we wouldn't be men, it would be women. Yeah. Because many people misunderstand the creator of the entire existence, He's not saying, he doesn't want men to, I have to expose a lie that's been believed for so long. He's not telling, people misinterpret the term worship have been just put in the Bible. It was added to it. A lot of words in the Bible have been tampered with to cause confusion. But anyway, he did not say bow down your face to the ground and worship the creator. That was actually a lie from human civilization. The creator says, so basically, how should I say it? To show true worship of God, because many people don't know what worship is, or God, what God is actually wanting. He wants you to love yourself, your true self, not your fake self, which is born from your chaos side. No, your true self, which only happens when you're perfectly balanced. So basically, he wants you to love yourself, put yourself first, because this is the very essence of a man. A man does not serve others. He served too. Understand that. And when we show respect to other men, that's not serving as you think it is, how a woman is supposed to serve a man. That's just, we're respecting the female side within that man. So I can't put everything into words because a lot of the stuff is from the creator, but some things I cannot say into human words. But I'll try my best. That's all I can say. So anyway, to put it short, we're not supposed to bow down to a god, We're supposed to express ourselves, the God. We're not supposed to bow down to a god. We're supposed to be the God. We are that God. This is what the creator of existence is saying, the true self within you. The religious systems, social media, what they show in society, they lie to the masses, the population, about what it means to know God. To know God is to be God, to be yourself. So you understand this, people. If you have questions about anything, all you have to do is question me. Come up to me and ask me to explain something. That's it. Just say it in my comments on my YouTube videos. Because if you come at me directly, wanting to understand something, then I can explain it to you because you would question me. If I question me, you make it easier for me to explain it to you. So yeah. And any lie that people try to throw at me too, oh, don't think I don't have an answer for it. Oh, sure, because the lie cannot beat the truth. Most guys in the world who become content creators to try to enlighten men or young men, a lot of them, like, the sad thing about a lot of them is most of them don't ever, when people throw a lie at them, a lot of them don't use the truth to combat that lie. Like, for example, many times I hear people say, like, to to males who are trying to enlighten men, so they know the reality. They, like, females will be like, well, you come from your mother, so ha ha ha. They will say that common lie to a man, but the man never seemed to refute back to her that actually you come from your father. I come from my father. You know what I'm saying? Like, the baby comes from the father. I rarely hear men refute that to a woman. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of men out there don't seem to fight the lie with a truth much. Like, y'all just let them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're going to say a lie, just come out with the truth with it while staying calm, of course. But just basically, if they say anything of the lie, just come out with the reality of it, like the truth of it. So that way, you would defeat them at every turn, and then this will cause common knowledge to spread faster. So, yeah, stop allowing females to say certain things and not combat it. You know what I'm saying? Stop allowing men to deceive men who are brainwashed to think with their feminine side to say things that are lies. You have to correct them, which is what discipline is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all I wanted to say in this video. Wow, this is my first video where it's this long. Dang, look how long my video is. Exactly, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, but anyway, the point is, I have to expose the lies of the religion. This is the last thing I'm gonna do before I leave, for the day, before I make a new video. Now, religions tell you to bow down with your face towards God, but that's a lie. Actually, you're supposed to be God on this realm. That's it. In order to, yes, this is what the true self really wants. Like, people have been lied to by the world powers that be, and the Creator never told you to bow down to Him because you are Him. He told you just to be Him, continue being Him. You can't be completely in tune with your complete self if you're not fully aware of your true self's nature. I'm just keeping it real. So that's how it is. So the less you know of yourself, the more you will see God as a different entity, not realizing He's the same you. Looking through your eyeballs. Yeah. So just be aware of that. So you're not supposed to bow down to a god. If you did that, you'd be a woman. Women are supposed to do that to men, to males. God, even goddesses bow down to gods. Yeah. Because if you do that, you'd be a woman. We're males. We're men. Masculinity, male entities. So we're supposed to. Yeah, we don't bow down to anybody. That's the true essence of male. We are God. Remember that. Just on the human realm. So when you realize, whenever a man, it's so rare for a man to have the ultimate realization. When a man realizes that he and the Creator are the same being, that he actually is that aboveness, the one that's above, then he realized, oh, I'm supposed to just know myself and know that there's no distinction between the source and the extension. Oh. So that means, and by being that way, there's no more difference between the Creator and you. You are that Creator while simultaneously being the human incarnation. Thus, you could experience the benefits of both, which is to be limited and to be limitless. So you can experience the benefits of being both. And thus, you will always know what to do. Because see, any man who has that full awareness, there's no longer any worrying, no worry spirit like, I'm worrying, I'm afraid. There's no doubt, there's no fear, there's no afraid of anything. There's no, taking things for granted. There's no comparing to others. You are being your complete self, and you're aware of that the Creator is you, and you know by nature, me want what's best for me. So you already know everything is going to work in your favor because the Creator is you. Like I said, the reason why you created your embodiment is to see what it's like to learn about yourself from a limited perspective. That's the purpose. And that's also the new look you gave yourself for eternity, to be an eternal human, and what I'm trying to say. But by knowing that you're the same person as then you're like, oh, yeah, and that's actually the ultimate duty of men, their realization of life. That's what the commandments in the Bible were trying to lead up to, because the average human can't know this stuff. The average human needs a handicap. They need to. A lot of times, the Creator has to make rules. The Bible, the commandments, because that's where the scriptures, the words, the commandments in the Bible will lead up to the realization that I am God. humans need help. I mean, most humans can't become aware of this knowledge on their own, so they need a handicap. That's why the Creator made the Holy Bible originally, before it was tampered with. You know what I'm saying? The Creator made the Holy Bible because it led up to you being holy, so that way you know yourself. Eventually, outgrowing the commandments, because the commandments are really just training wheels to knowing your complete self. But there are humans, there are men out there who become that way from the beginning and don't need the commandments because they become fully aware of who they are. Because the purpose of the commandments is really to help make it easier to understand what you are. So it's not. So don't confuse it for it telling you what to do or trying to boss you around. You actually wrote those commandments yourself from the highest perspective, because you're aware that some human males are not aware of themselves. So if they can't be aware of their complete self, then I'll just make it easy for them by making, rules so they can, be led towards the good things of life. And they will never be aware of their complete self. But hey, as long as I can make it easier for them, that's pretty much what your true self said within you. So I'm just letting you know. So yeah, that's the end of this video, my people. Wow, this is my first hour-long video. Talk about where I'm giving knowledge, awareness. Wow. So remember, if anyone have any questions, come talk to me in my comment section. Yeah, question me so I can give you the answer back. Trust me, you'll be making it easier for me to give you the answer, because the truth, the reality, anything can be explained if once a person has the truth by itself and no lies attached. So, all right, peace.